Well, good morning. It's been a long time, but I'm eventually back out on the bank, and I'm here today at Broadlands in Southampton. I got down yesterday evening, late afternoon, evening time, and yeah, I didn't get the cameras out. I just wanted to get set up. It's been such a long time since I've been. I was making silly mistakes, and yeah, it was a while before I was fully set up and had the brew on the go. So I didn't bother filming. I got the rods out. I'm fishing on the motorway bank and in swim 63, and yeah, it's one of those ones, you go on the catch app, you book your swim and you turn up, and yeah, you set up. So I sort of knew what I was coming into. I believe it's not a bad peg on the lake. It does produce, but I knew they all produce on the day, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to catch, does it? So we'll see what gives. Now there's a sort of tree that's fallen in the water. It's been cut down, so it's a big stump coming out into the lake, and I'm fishing rod either side of that, and about 2/3 of the way across I found a nice little hump using the deeper on the boat. In the middle of nothing, there's nothing else around it, just this one little hump, a little bit of hard ground, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to test that out. So I dropped a lead on it, had a feels, yeah, nice and tappy. I mean, I don't think gravel is the trick here, but it's something different in the area, so I thought I'd have a bait on that as well. So I've got one either side of the big log, and one about 2/3 of the way across, straight out onto this little mound that I found. So that's the state of play at the moment. The rod's obviously been out all night. I've had a few twitches, a few double bleeps, but that is about it. But that could even just be small stuff in the margins, hitting the lines. All set up. Looks like it's going to be a nice morning. Sun's coming out. I'm not too sure what the weather's going to be. Yesterday it was drizzly, showers, sunshine. We had everything yesterday, and that's the other thing. When I got down, I put the bivvy up first because it had been raining so much on and off during the day, and lo and behold, put the bivvy up and there was no rain at all last night. So you know, I could have put the rods out first and set up nice and easy, but anyway, that's the way it is. It's a quiet night. The lad next door to my left, he had a grass carp yesterday evening. Looked like a nice fish, and he's just lost a bream. So that is the only activity I've been witness to on this lake so far. I do believe there's people turning up in the swim to my right as well today, so I'm going to be a little bit hemmed in, but I knew it's going to be like this, so yeah, it's fine. And I just want one of the rods to rattle off, really. I'll really be made up if we get 8 fish this weekend. There are some absolute monsters in this lake. There's lots of 30s, and I think there's 1 or 2 that goes over 40. So yeah, there's some nice fish in here to be had. So when that buzzer goes, if it goes, you just don't know what you got on the end of the line. So anyway, I've got my brew on the go. First brew of the morning, always the best one. So I'm going to savour this, watch the sun come up, and pray to the carp gods that something happens. Anyway, I'll catch you in a little while. Okay guys, sun's well up in the sky now. It's a little bit chilly still though, a little bit of a chilly wind. And also I've been in the shade for most of the morning. I'm only just starting to get a bit of the sunshine. But yeah, it's a little bit chilly. No action on the rods. A couple of bleeps on the right hand rod. I thought it was going to go. Like beep, 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 and then stopped. And that is the result of all the action so far. I've had some breakfast. Sausage and egg rolls, always good. So after breakfast I thought I'd tie some rigs up, and I'm going to have a switch up in a bit and bring the rods in and get fresh baits out and a change of rigs. Now, a little while ago, the guys at Mudman Terminal Tackle Company, I've never heard of them before, they approached me and said, do you want to try some of our bits and pieces? So they sent me a selection, and in there I've got curve size 6, wide gate 4s, kickers, jod hooks, curve barbless and spinner swivels. Yeah, all looks quality gear, and I'm not too sure what the cost of this is, because like I say, they just sent me this, so I don't know, but I'd imagine it's very good value for money. So I've used the X curve size 6, and I've used the chod size 4 to tie up my usual rigs. Those out, you might be able to see those if I zoom in on those. So there's the curve, and that's doing a standard sort of blowback rig. So you might be able to see that on there with a hair. I'll zoom in on it in a minute anyway. But yeah, so that's the curve version. And the barbed version, you've guessed it, I'm using my usual doubled over section of rigidity down to some coated braid. Super sharp, and they do look very good. Obviously, first time out using them, but I can't see any reason why they won't work, obviously. They're nice and sharp, like I say. I guess test of time will be if they happen to bend or snap playing a large fish, but we're never going to know that until it happens. So but initial thoughts are very good. So yeah, that's Mudman Tackle. Check them out online. Anyway, I'm going to get the rods back out again very soon. Roger guys, it's about 3 o'clock. Still nothing to report. The guy sat up next to me on the right. He had a 17.5 pounder earlier, lovely fish, but he's fishing into the bay round to the right hand side. So it's not near where I'm fishing, unfortunately. It'd be good to know there's fish out there, but it's not. So it's still very quiet. I've redone the rods using the rigs that I showed you. I've got fruit and nut wafter, matched hatch wafter on the left hand rod. Hardened hooker OG fish with a 12mm OG fish pop up on the middle rod, and the right hand rod is an OG fish hardened hooker with a 12mm orange magic bean topper, and that's the right hand rod. And I put them all out towards the island, quite close to the island, just sitting on the top of the marginal shelf, and I've sacked off the rod in the middle of, or 3/4 of the way over. I've sacked that off, put them all tight to the island and give that a go. So we'll see what happens, but in the meantime I'm enjoying myself with beer, dirty rustlers, and every now and again the sun's out and it's quite nice, but it's got quite a cold wind, so when that sun goes in it gets quite chilly. But anyway, that's where we're at. Enjoy this, and I'll catch you in a bit. Good evening guys, it's about 6 o'clock now. There's still nothing to talk about on the rods. Absolutely quiet. I did have a couple of bleeps not long after I repositioned the rods. Yeah, the middle rod gave a few bleeps up and then stopped, and that was it. That is the only action I've had. So it's very, very quiet. So I'm not going to reposition the rods tonight. I'm going to leave them where they are. I'm quite happy with the rods, apart from the fact nothing's happening with them. So I'm going to leave them as they are, just sit on them. It's about this time yesterday I was setting up, so yeah, it could be a bite time that I missed out on yesterday because I didn't have the rods in the water, so I'm going to leave them as they are. Hope something happens. But yeah, it's been a very quiet day. It's been a bit chilly. There's a chilly breeze, but when the sun comes out, it's lovely. But if you're in the shade and that wind hits you, it's been quite cold. So I've checked the weather. It's meant to stay dry now till I go home. So at the very least, it should be a dry pack up, which is always nice. But yeah, it would be nice to get a fish under the belt before we do pack up. But at the way it's going at the moment, I'm not feeling ultra confident. It's so quiet out here. The guys to my left not had anything. We all had that one over to the bay. I think they call it Boathouse Bay on here. He had that fish there, but it's not in my vicinity at all. So since I last spoke to you, I've had that burger and I've had a few hours kip on the bed chair, catching up some sleep. I didn't sleep very well last night. Got a bit of a sore shoulder at the moment, and it was keeping me up a little while last night. So yeah, I think I needed that, a little bit of kip. But I'm feeling good now, and hopefully I won't get any sleep tonight for another reason. But I really don't think it's not going to happen. But hey, you never know. You never know. Only takes a second, and one of those goes off, and it changes the whole nature of the game. But that's it. That's where we are, going into the evening, and yeah, praying and hoping. I'll have a catch up with you before it gets too dark, and hopefully by then we'll have had something. Watch you guys, I'm in the bivvy. Put my hat on, put my hoodie on. I'm feeling quite chilly. Even though the sun's still up, it is quite bitter. So yeah, time to cook some dinner. What is it, you ask? Okay, anyone who watches my channel will know this is one of my favourites. I've got the Cook green Thai chicken curry, the VT sticky rice, and the Ridge Monkey. The three of those combined makes for one happy Steve. Anyway, I'm gonna get it on the go, and I'll see you in a bit. And there it is, ready to munch on. Happy days. Meal with a view. How's that? Look guys, I'm just going to pause the video here for a moment and show you one of the reasons why I've not been on the bank for a little while. Me and the wife went for a once in a lifetime holiday to the Maldives. Whilst we was there, we went on a dawn or very early morning fishing trip. So we got up while it's still dark, got on the boat while it was still dark, and off we went. Unfortunately in the video you don't see the two small barracudas that we caught. We released those. It was just too dark to film, and yeah, I'll show you what we did catch. So we'll get back to the other video in a minute, but in the meantime, here's us on our holiday. Hope you enjoy it. Okay guys, so here's the end result of our fishing trip today. We got grilled tuna, we got fried tuna, some salad, some sauces, got some cocktails, and we got a very happy Tina. Good morning. It's been a very quiet night again. Absolutely nothing on the rods. Quiet and a little bit chilly, but nice and cozy in the bag, which is why I'm still in it, watching the rods, and still hoping and praying that something happens. But that's the update. Nothing to talk about, and you'll be the first to know. But anyway, I'm gonna relax in here, maybe get the kettle on in a minute, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Guys, about 8:30, still nothing to report. Absolutely, no, actually, tell a lie. Right hand rod, about 7:15. Bobbing shot to the top. I've run to the rods, waited to see any sort of movement on the line or the rod tip, whatever. Nothing. It's one of those, do I hit it, do I leave it? I thought I'd leave it, could just been a liner. The best action I've had all weekend. So, yeah, nothing to report on the fishing front. I'm just cooking my breakfast. Got some sausages on the go in the pan. Sausage and egg rolls, again, like I did yesterday. That's about it. It's not looking likely anything's going to happen. We had another fish from the bay in the early hours this morning. So, yeah, they're definitely the other side to my right, on the other side of the bay. The guys fishing there had quite a few fish over the weekend. Seems like the fish have not been down this section of the lake, because I don't think anyone to my left has had anything. So, yeah, it just feels like null and void of fish in the area in front of me, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's one of those things. If you're not on the fish, you're not going to catch them. I've got a few hours yet, so I'm going to sit tight, have my breakfast, and hope that eventually get around this area and I'll get a chance. But it's not looking good. But at least everything's dry. It's going to be a dry pack up, which is always a result. Anything happens, obviously I'll let you guys know. But I'll try and do a wrap-up shot before I go, just to let you know exactly what happens. But obviously if anything does, you will be the first to know. Waffling, my breakfast is cooking, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, just gone midday, and I'm calling it a day. I've got all the gear packed down, ready to go on the barra. All that's left is the rods. That's it, a big fat blank. Never mind, always next time. But until then, take care, be lucky, and thanks for watching. And I'll see you soon.